And we're live.
Okay, cool.
How's it going, everybody?
Yay.
Listen to Matt fluctuating his inflections on his voice.
Enunciating so well.
Get ready to rumble.
Oh, my video quality is horrible.
It always
It's
is.
okay, John.
It's okay.
Okay, Ronnie.
It's all right, Ronnie. It looks like the actual movie behind me is in better picture quality.
It might be.
Oh, dude. Do I need to turn it off for the kids right now?
No,
I think you're good. You're good.
Oh,
Until it's
okay.
going on.
All right.
All
It just implied that he had a three-way. Four-way. Sorry.
No one would have got it if you didn't bring it up.
I made a strong implication. All right, guys. Go ahead. Take it away.
All right. Well, welcome to the Movie Podium, everyone. We're a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about
movies.
it. It's kind of like a
shit,
book
that's
club.
way early.
But for movies.
For movies.
All right. Thanks, Eric and John.
For movies.
So this week is my birthday, next
Ooh.
Monday.
Yeah.
And so for each birthday of ours, we picked the movie of the week. And so I hope everyone experienced it, enjoyed it, and didn't fall for it. And without further ado, we present our next movie.
There's acid in the beer that's in the red cups.
How do you know when it's kicked in?
I am a golden god!
Yes.
I did not know that was going to be featured so prominently in the trailer when I picked my subtitle or whatever.
It makes it that much better.
Yeah, for sure.
It does.
Yeah, so this week, our final podium at the end of the episode, or each episode, we find a category and we try to come up with 3 different answers, or our podium, bronze, silver, and gold, for that category. In this case, since we're doing Almost Famous, I think it was inspired, or at least I think it's a great movie to exploit the rock and roll. And so we are going with, does this movie podium for all-time rock and roll movies?
Rock and roll movies.
Rock
Woo!
and roll.
One of my favorite genres, I will say. Like, for real
There's
talk.
other genres?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, from an enjoyment standpoint, could watch these kind of movies all day long.
Yeah,
And it's-
before we get too far into it, should we hit the intro and cheers?
Yeah, let's. I got a beer. I got a beer.
Got a beer.
That's the host of the movie podium, big muscles, lifting weights. Birthday movie pick, almost famous rock and roll, blast off, loud space. Hey!
Wow, that was awesome. I did kind of see the weight. Kelly sent me that. The weight.
Oh, damn.
I didn't expect
But I
that.
didn't know the other. No, that was
It's
awesome.
poetry.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to producer Kelly
Yeah, that's
for making
hilarious.
those.
that was amazing.
Oh,
Made that. Good job, Kelly.
Yes.
yeah, I can't
And
wait.
fellow birthday.
Yeah,
boy, girl.
also shares a birthday with me, just a
about
little
that?
younger.
You guys should get married
get
and have 3 kids.
too late. Little warning.
Wait, the 4th one's coming? What?
No, I said 3.
No.
They keep
He said
aiming for their birthday again with another kid, and they keep.
Oh no! No one was. Well, Cohen was close. He was in. He was 2 days. And almost landed on Kevin's.
It was
All
close.
right. Well, I'm your.
Don't
host,
wanna land
Matt
on Kevin.
Scott. Yeah. No, we don't want to do that. I'm your host, Matt Scott. I'm here with my dudes, Eric,
Hello, that's me.
cooking with Kevin.
Hey, that's me.
Well, roll into the intro there. And hello, John.
Hello, John. Hello, John.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello.
It was on repeat.
Now these sound like
Sorry.
like little people.
Yeah. Right. It just maybe it just keeps shrinking. Little shrinkage. Man, hopefully you guys bring up some better beer this weekend. This Miller is not tasting great. I don't know how old it is, to be honest, but I'll drink it.
Oh, it's old.
Gotta be at least 18 or
Yeah.
21. Sorry, gotta be at least 21.
Right.
Miller Lite is finally aged.
I think I brought up Miller Lite like 2 months ago to your house.
Our buddy from Norway is back on. How's it going?
John
Polar Night.
Polar Nights, what's up, man?
Polar
All right,
Nights.
back on Twitch.
Welcome,
Let's go.
Willkommen, whatever it is in your native tongue.
Close enough. Well, thanks to all our Patreon members. We really appreciate your support. For anyone
Yes,
who wants
thank
to
you.
join, we've got free stickers. We've got access to our Discord. Maybe you check out a nice koozie for your cold beer. Hopefully not a Miller Lite. Whatever
Or if
John
it
has
is a
in his
Miller Lite,
pocket.
who knows?
Yeah, or if it is, no worries.
Some people have bad taste. Looking at you,
Yeah, I
Kevin.
mean,
I'm drinking a movie podium beer.
oh, there we go. Nice.
Nice, Kevin.
Well, let's get into some random ass facts. Oh, Kelly says, hell no. I'm not sure what that's to.
I think that's to a
Oh,
fourth.
fair.
Kid. I think we all assume the same. Yeah, fair enough.
You guys need another Miles.
Oh,
Terrorizing
man.
everything. Okay,
Right.
random ass facts.
As long as it's not Bud Light sticker, I don't care. Yeah, that's fair. We don't have Bud Light here either. Coors is what I usually drink, and Kevin is always on Bush. And Eric always
Always
drinks
in
the
the
fancy
bush.
beer.
Kevin's got a big
He's
bush.
deep in the bush.
Yep. I have to
right,
drink
first-
the fancy beer
oh,
because I can't do all the like watery stuff because it gives me heartburn.
Yeah.
So like if I first of all a fancy beer tastes good, but then also if I want to have it affect me at all, I have to get like a strong one
Yeah,
because I can only
that's
drink a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why I just go with vodka or something strong.
That's true. You do that.
Saturday, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
First fact. This, and I apologize in advance. Sorry for breaking the Thor streak of 3. This movie got a 7.9 or a Thor 0.9.
Nice.
You
I thought
Better
that was
than Thor.
what I thought last week was the streak was broken too.
No, Top Gun was a 7.
Okay.
So we had Top Gun, we had Happy Gilmore, and Wayne's World.
Oh man.
Yep.
This you just had to do it.
It's
I had to pick a better
You just
movie.
had to do it.
Oh, all right.
I like film.
pick a
I'm
good
gonna
movie.
I'm gonna make you guys watch a film in classic
Oh.
cinema.
I tried rock and roll mixed with film is what I did. I had a different rock and roll movie in mind. I went with a more film-based rock and roll. And also, I need to drink this. Polar Night says, I need to drink this Easter. My mother-in-law has been... Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Happy
Kelly's listening,
Easter,
but
everyone.
I like Kelly's. My mother-in-law. She wouldn't drink, that's for sure. All right. So this was up for 4 Oscars, including Kate Hudson and Frances McDormand supporting roles. I thought Frances McDormand was great in this, but the movie only won 1 Oscar, being Best Screenplay, which I feel like it's really well laid out and written when you break it down. Turns out it's a semi-autobiography of his life.
Okay.
So that was probably why it was easy to write.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I guess he wrote for Rolling Stone, and the first band he toured with was the Allman Brothers. Pretty badass, right?
Yeah.
Heard of them?
Yeah, I heard of them.
I know.
He
of them.
also said that he lost his virginity to some Band-Aids at the age of 16. So that's not even falsified, which, again, it was the 70s, so it's like, yeah, they were a little more free-spirited. I understand. And also, last note on him and this story, he married Nancy Wilson. Anybody know who that is?
It sounds so familiar I cannot remember.
She's definitely familiar. She played guitar and sang for Heart.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he must be a magic man.
Ah, see what you did there. Also did a lot of Cameron Crowe also did a lot of other good movies. That's debatable. Can Footloose be seen as a rock and roll movie?
In spirit,
It has a good soundtrack. Yeah,
Yeah.
in spirit.
In attitude, yeah. Like,
Yeah, maybe. It's on the fence. It's not really like. I mean, I guess in the sense that they defy the church people and play music and dance and shit, right? From that
That's
aspect,
super scandalous.
right?
it's
You
rock
can't go
and roll.
dancing. And they don't even listen.
It's about as rock and roll as the Osmonds.
But it is against the man. You know, they
Yeah.
are sticking it to the man in that.
Stick
So
it to
that's
the
a good
man.
point.
Yeah.
Stick it to the man. There was a real band in the 70s called Stillwater. However, this is not the inspiration of the movie. It seems more like it was the Allman Brothers, now that we know that.
Yeah.
But I guess the band of Stillwater was able to get some money out of this because of their name. Not bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we were fine. We got some money. Like, no
Yeah, I
big
thought
deal."
I thought
And
that was
people probably looked
completely-
us up. What?
I thought it was a
Yeah.
completely made up name. I'm not familiar with that band at all.
No, I don't think any of us are. It was some obscure Southern rock band or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because I think Stillwater is a city in Oklahoma. I
Yeah,
think that's where a maybe it's Oklahoma State or one of the universities.
one of the big Oklahomas.
Yeah, right.
The other OU.
Well, Norman is Oklahoma, so it's probably Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys saw the credits, but Peter Frampton is not only in the movie, but he wrote 2 of the Stillwater songs. Pretty cool.
What? He's in the movie?
He's in the movie. I think he's like I didn't look it up what he was, but I saw his name in the credits and I was like, oh, that's weird. So I looked it up and it said he's in it and also that he wrote some of the songs.
Okay. Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, there's some cool, like the original Stillwater songs aren't bad. Like they're like 70s rock. Like you kind of get that vibe.
Yeah. Fever Dog.
Fever Dog, yeah.
Catching out my dog.
I don't want to end up on the list. Oh, you're good. Bud
Oh, is
Light's
that on your,
not our choice,
song
our
podium?
drink of choice. Yeah, right. All right, I got 2 more. The guitar was not played by Billy Crudup. Not surprised. It was played by Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
Okay.
That's random. Yeah.
It is
Peter Frampton
believe-
writing the songs and Mike McCready playing guitar.
it's-
It's like a super group.
Well, turns out Cameron Crowe knows people.
Yeah.
Which
Probably.
he's a writer for Rolling Stone back in the day, and if you've seen any of his, all of his movies are centered around music in some way or another. So
Yeah.
it all kind of adds up. All right, we got a casting what if here.
Ooh.
Ooh, these are
Jack
fun.
Black and Jon Favreau were both tried out for the part of Lester Bangs.
So
Was that-
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah, that's Philip
Yeah.
Seymour Hoffman. That's
Correct.
Yeah, we've
hilarious.
done this before, where him and Jack Black.
I know, right?
It was-
They
it was-
flip flop.
It was it
Why?
Along Came Polly? That was
Yeah.
It was Long Came
Where
Polly.
Philip
was
Seymour
another
Hoffman
one.
just played Jack Black.
Right. I could
In
see
that
that
case-
though, because of he could be enthusiastic about music, just like Philip.
Yeah.
Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
I'm glad Philip Seymour Hoffman was in this instead, though. Like, I feel like he captured it a little better than I think Jack Black would have. Because I think Jack Black might have been a little more pompous. Or I don't know about pompous. Maybe it's good that Lester Bangs or Philip Seymour Hoffman was pompous, but I just feel like he would have been a little more wacky or something in a way
Yeah.
where not necessary.
Well, you can be honest that Philip Seymour Hoffman is a better actor.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, okay. Truth
Which is-
serum.
Okay.
A million
It's-
percent true.
It is pretty hilarious that is multiple times that Jack Black and him have been like in the running for the same part. Even though Philip Seymour Hoffman is like so fucking good at like all of the genres.
Jack Black.
Jack Black is good, but he can do like, comedy.
Yeah, right.
And that
Yeah, did he
100% is his
do?
thing.
Was he in the running for Capote?
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, somehow I don't see Jack Black in that role. Have you, Polar Knight says, sorry, OMG, you seen the emergency broadcast from the White House? This is crazy. Unbelievable.
I saw something about breaking news, but I'm not in the.
We're not in the. Yeah, I have no idea. Bigfoot.
We're the movie podium.
Yeah, I don't know. Something tells me that Almost Famous is more important than that.
Yeah. Something tells me that I don't want to go into a spiral. So
No,
I'm just going to stay on here talking about Almost Famous.
Yeah, I'd go with rock and roll. All right.
Fuck yeah, rock and roll.
Next category. Let's start with the first category, shall we? First category, favorite thing about the movie. Kevin, why don't you start us off?
Mine's pretty vague because something with this movie, I was watching it, and I didn't want to stop to answer the questions because this movie keeps you engaged, and I just wanted to keep watching and not even have to worry about that because I just wanted to keep watching. So the pacing's right, it's engaging, and you just can't keep your eyes off of it because the story just keeps going and going and going, and it's well written and well acted and well put together and well directed. It's a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
It turns out it's a good movie. Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the movie, I'm like, shit, it's over. Like, I'm like, oh, I just want more.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what happens.
Rock and roll never dies.
That's right. Eric, what would you say?
I don't have anything because I was kind of in the same camp as Kevin, but I'm just going to say rock and roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll in the 70s. Also, Black Sabbath. I wish they were in the actual movie or like people dressed as Black Sabbath. That would have been sick.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I think
yeah,
that
there are
goes
some
with the least
cool
favorite thing.
Yeah, right. There are some cool, like, subtle references too.
Yeah,
like when they're in the party, one of the party scenes, and it's Tom Petty, and like, there's a scene where him and a girl are working on a song or something.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Tom Petty.
Oh, okay.
And I'm blanking on the girl's name, and I'm like not Joni Mitchell, but he was married to somebody, and now I'm blanking. But it was in that era, and so like that when they're walking by and they're playing, that's Tom Petty. I'm like, there's so many little things like that are in this. Also, Mitch Hedberg is in this as a the comedian. He's a bouncer in this movie.
Okay, Mark Maron is also in this movie.
And Mark Maron, and he uses that one of the lines in this movie. He uses that for his podcast. If you recognize, if anybody listens to his podcast, when they say when they're talking about going through the fence, drive the bus, the gate, he uses that in his podcast. So it all kind of adds up. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want to take the line.
We'll find out.
But yeah, I agree, Kevin and Eric. Great. It's all around just a great movie. John, do you have anything specific?
So, have you gone yet, Matt?
No.
Okay. Because I agree with Kevin and Eric, and I imagine you too, Matt, that it's hard to pick a thing. Like, I think we've said that a million times before for really good movies. It's hard to pick the one thing.
Yeah.
But for this, just one thing that I liked in particular, because it's all really good, but I just like Frances McDormand, his mom.
Oh, I knew you would. You're such a homer. You're such a homer.
Yeah, because it reminds me of my mom, overbearing, and then it's the rebellious element of rock and roll is kind of, I guess, the big where this comes in. He's having his Rumspringa, like
and
sure.
And what I like is that they're like she means well too. Oh my God, where is the law? He took the hat off. He has the hat.
Give the people what they want.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Wow, Luigi.
Oh,
so good. So good. Yeah. I do like how she's caring too. Like, it's not like she's like a bad mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's just a lot to like. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, and as a kid growing up, like I watched this a million times. Um, I think my favorite part though, and other than the rock and roll, I think it is obviously a pretty big driver. But the other thing I really like that maybe isn't as talked about is the coming of age take on this. And like the kid is, I mean, he's treated like he's older already, like he's graduating high school at the age of 15 with, as you said, like a strict but a really smart, intelligent mom. And so it's cool when you see him like go on the road and he's got all these temptations, like don't do drugs, and it's like funny to us, right? Then it's kind of meant to be sarcastic, but obviously Cameron Crowe probably had to go through some of that. So it's really funny to kind of see that, right? And I just like from an emotional standpoint, it's real. Like when he finds a Penny Lane or something, it's when you're that young and you have a crush on somebody that's probably unattainable. That's real stuff that really happens, and like he can't distinguish the two because he's so young. And I feel like when we were in college or out of college at Plum or Sandlot or wherever, some of those things just happen, like when with no adult supervision. That all that stuff is pretty close, like pretty accurate, in some ways. So I feel like it was well written and accurate and a good coming of age movie on top of being a rock and roll. It has layers.
Yeah.
It's like
the
a cake.
age of crossing boundaries.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a real movie. That's what's cool about it. All right, next category. Least favorite thing about the movie. All right, I'll go first. My least favorite thing is that they had to leave Doris for a plane. And then of course they almost died in that plane. Come on.
Yep.
They had to leave
Yeah, but they got
like,
back to
who leaves
Doris at the end.
bus? I know, that's true. Also,
It's the
it's
heart
kind
and
of
soul of the band.
right, for sure. And also one thing I wanted to point out, when they're on the plane and they're it's starting to look bad for them. One of the guys is singing Peggy Sue. Well, that's a song by Buddy Holly, who infamously died in a plane crash with Richie Valens and Big Bopper.
Oh, God.
Yeah, isn't that
The day the
scary?
music died.
Thank you.
Ooh.
It is the day that music died, according to Don McLean.
Yeah,
Well done. Well
I
said,
really
Don.
miss music because that was like how long ago? 70
I
years.
know. 73.
It's not
I don't
70
know
years.
when Buddy Holly actually died in the plane crash, so maybe it was 73.
Oh yeah, I was gonna guess. Actually, I was thinking 50s or 60s.
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah, it had to be.
Unless he was trying to be
older than
like
that.
retro when he was popular.
Nah, I feel like it was probably the 60s.
1959.
Oh, 59.
59.
Okay.
59.
Wow. That's crazy. That means La Bamba was written before 59.
Yeah, my
That's
mom
how
was
old that song
born in 58.
That's crazy. John, what was your least favorite thing?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the other
John.
Waluigi. Sorry, Waluigi.
I'm gonna, because Eric mentioned it a second ago. My least favorite thing, one of them, and I don't really dislike anything too much, but we never get to see Black Sabbath.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
bad.
kind of a letdown.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah, that is.
so he got the Rolling Stone gig, so that means he had to have interviewed Black Sabbath.
Right.
But they just didn't show it to us.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So that hurts even more.
I know.
Well, he's the enemy.
Yes, he is.
The enemy. Eric, what was your least favorite thing?
I'm actually going to go back to John. One of the things that he mentioned before, it is the overbearing mother and
Oh, yeah.
the manipulation that she does.
Oh, yeah. Some of that
Especially
stuff
early
at the
on.
beginning. Yeah, exactly.
It's,
Like she
it's
kinda
all the
gets
way
that.
through the movie. That specific aspect makes this I like the movie. It's great, but I don't know if I will willingly watch it again. Just because of that specific aspect.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until I was talking to Julie on the phone. She's like, "Why didn't you like it?" And then I was like, "Oh, okay." The manipulation.
Yeah, his mom definitely sort of like definitely you almost want to call it indoctrination, because she's like, she's like, what books are you reading? She's very controlling of what they're exposed to.
It's not even, I think the line was, "I don't know what I did so wrong to drive my children away from me." That line, that had me been like, oh, what the had me a little triggered.
Also at the end,
I didn't like it.
Also when she was hugging the sister at the end, and what did she say? Like,
she's like, "I'm sorry." Yeah, I found that more funny than anything.
Yeah,
but yes,
I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Another weird one is when
"I forgive you." That's what she said.
She's like, "I still have you for 3 more years, don't I?"
Yeah. Right. Kevin, what was your least favorite thing?
I put that no one in their right mind would think a 15-year-old is a professional writer from the Rolling Stone.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, so Cameron Crowe was 16 when he was writing for Rolling Stone, but my guess is that he wasn't pretending.
And he wasn't on the road with a
else.
band pretending. And like,
right. That's hilarious. Though it did provide some pretty funny lines. When he's like, "Man, when my old, what does he say? Like, when my woman gets on
my
something."
My old lady.
That's it. Yeah, my old lady. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious.
It's his mom.
And then when the two different girls say something, he's like, "Get it together, man." I mean, those lines are so good. Those are so good. All right. Next category. Who won the movie?
Did you do your least favorite thing?
I did. When they left the bus, Doris.
I
was so sad. They had to leave Doris. I mean, like, how rock and roll is a tour bus, right?
Yeah. It's super
Although
rock and
it was
roll.
one of my favorite song moments, which we'll get to.
Oh, I wonder what that could be.
Yeah.
Love that John was leading it in for favorite song.
I know.
Who won the movie?
It's only one category away, so we're close. John, how about you tell me who won the movie?
Oh, I don't have anyone. I haven't. That's
no one won.
No one. Yeah, just pulling it out of my ass. I think them as a family, because they all end up. I mean, they go through a lot, but they all end up together again under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think pulling that out of the ass is a pretty good one.
Yeah,
dang, I like that.
Like I said, I only got to watch this movie once.
Twice. It's on now.
You've never watched it before?
Hold on.
No, definitely. Oh, you're on the part where she flies away. All right, Eric, what about you?
Who won the movie? I said Stillwater.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were fucking complete assholes to William. But in the end, they still made it on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I love that.
Did they actually do the shoot, or I thought it all kind of blew
up?
Okay.
No, at the very end. Yeah,
they show it. So
they're on the cover.
So for me, it's got to be the kid, but I like John's answer too. And Stillwater does end up being successful, even with that heated moment in the plane. And honestly, and you guys know better than us, you being Eric and Kevin, there are times when you probably fight with your band, right? I mean, we fight with each other. Those moments happen, right? That's real stuff. That happens. And sometimes the real bands or the real friends overcome that and become stronger. That's the truth, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not outside of bands.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Friendships also are forged that way. But bands, for sure. I'm sure that happens all the time.
There's a band called Pup, which is one of my favorite bands. I think of them as a new band, but they've been around for like 10 years now. They have a song called If This Tour Doesn't Kill You. And the song is about, if this tour doesn't kill you, then I will. Because they all get fed up with each other.
I'm sure
And they're just like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well, the whole part of
Metaphorically.
like, finding a mate in the sense where you're able to live with that person and deal with that person. But like your bandmates aren't, you're not looking to live with that person. You're looking to play music with that person. So when you have to deal with them every day, it's not exactly you finding your partner. It's just finding someone you're good at music with. So I'm sure there are times where it's like that.
Oh yeah, when you're sleeping in the same van, you're probably
right. Oh yeah. So
closer
like
to
Stillwater's a good answer too.
Yeah.
I said the kid because I think like he becomes an adult in a way where he was able to experience something that most of us wish we could experience. Like he was writing for Rolling Stone and getting to see all this stuff without being really in the mix. Like he kind of just got to be a wallflower, right? And so I think that was cool. And again, he got to be on the fucking cover of Rolling Stone. Like, how crazy for a
As his first article for Rolling Stone was the cover.
I know, is the cover. And he got to like experience life when he was not experiencing life.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to grow a mustache in any grade. Didn't even have one at the age of 15.
So earlier I shaved my face and I left the stash because I was like, maybe it's gonna be better this time. And I left it, and then I was like, God damn it, it's not better at all.
Go for it.
It's so light, like you can't really tell. And like I sent a picture to Julie, and she's like, "Oh lordy."
That was
taking John a while
I
to
need
grow
to borrow
that.
some mascara and paint this.
Yeah.
I would highly not suggest that.
Let's see, Kevin, who won the movie for you?
I went kind of a weird way, and I said I think Russell actually won this movie.
Okay.
But it was mainly because he hit rock bottom in this, and by the end of the movie, like he is a much better person, and I feel like he kind of found himself. Like that ending scene is amazing when it all just crashes down on himself. Like,
yeah, he realizes.
Okay, I see what's going on here. I need to do this interview. And,
yeah.
And he makes it right at the end. So do they get to shoot after he basically says, yeah, everything that the kid said was true?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like as he's leaving, he's like, I don't know what they're going to do with the story, but I told him everything you said was true. And then it like
and then
flashes forward to them on the cover.
Yeah. And Stillwater made it.
Going back to Doris. Speaking of Doris,
the no
now,
airplanes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love it.
So good.
So speaking of Doris, favorite song, moment, or score scene? And I would assume we all have the same answer. John, I guess, called dibs. But like it is one of the most iconic movie scenes for a music scene. And again, another inspiration like the Bohemian Rhapsody.
So Matt is
also
talking about Tiny Dancer in the bus scene.
Yes.
Exactly.
You stole it from John.
Stole it from
No,
John.
I didn't have that actually. There's
What
too
was
many,
yours?
First of all. I mean, I guess
What's another good one from the band?
That's a good top one, but like I just had a list of shit and a lot.
I mean,
Oh,
so
good.
like when you think of this movie though, and you think of a music scene, I think we all go to that one.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's
So, like-
so iconic.
Yeah, it's like the Bohemian Rhapsody of Wayne's World.
Agreed.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
so inspirational and iconic.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other ones? Because I think it's a great soundtrack. Let's
God, yeah.
talk about that. Eric, what about you?
I had when they, like after William got into the show by complimenting them, and he's complimenting them about the song Fever Dog, and then they play Fever Dog on stage.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I thought that was cool. Yeah.
I do too. I really like. I believe the song is called "That's the Way" by Led Zeppelin.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's another bus scene, and that's when they leave Jason
They
Lee
broke through the
behind.
gate and they're on their
Yeah,
next.
they
Oh.
broke through the gate, and then the song starts playing, and it's like a acoustics, like slower
Montage.
kind of.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
keeps
a
playing
great Zeppelin
through.
song.
They have some more dialogue, and it keeps playing through
Yeah,
like
I
the whole time they're
love
on
that
the road.
Zeppelin song.
I like that one.
Yeah, and then rock and roll play, or not rock and roll.
Wait, hold on. John hasn't gone yet.
Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead with your pick.
So I just like Led Zeppelin in general. There's
Yeah,
That's the Way. There's
I know.
Tangerine. Both are
Tangerine's
not-
in there.
Zeppelin has such a deep catalog, and I
know.
feel like they're pretty much rock and roll. So you got to feature them a couple times.
Pretty much rock and roll.
They're kind of there.
There was a
I
Yes song,
guess.
and I just want to mention it just because I like Yes.
Yes.
And then I think the only, I guess, one that is just, to me, when they have sort of an ironic choice for a song, gets me. And it was My
Yes.
Cherie Amour by Stevie Wonder while they're pumping her stomach. And
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he just told her, like, I love you. You're probably not going to
yeah.
this.
I'm gonna go where a lot of men have boldly gone before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. But again, that's so like not over the top. Like that's all that happens. It's like if it was more, obviously it'd be like,
Mhm.
whoa, this isn't cool. But it's a 15-year-old, and then he actually saves her life.
Mhm.
Also, I like going into that scene, the Mad Hatter. I don't know the exact title, but it's an Elton John song. The Mad Hatters and Mona Lisas
Mm-hmm.
might be the name of it. Also, let's see what else plays. Oh, Misty Mountain Hop plays when they're going on the Brooklyn Bridge. I think another Zeppelin song. So there's
They
a
play
lot
a
of,
little bit of Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
I know they do play a little bit of Paranoid.
I wish they played more.
There's a Joni Mitchell song in there.
Do you remember what was the acoustic one that he was playing when they were at the party? I can't.
Tom
All
Petty
the
one.
good people. That's
that's it. Yeah, that one.
Who is that? Is that I'm gonna look it up because I'm blanking on who sings that.
This is riveting audio.
Oh,
Very,
yeah.
very
So
riveting.
Matt is typing away.
John
into
Anderson. Okay, I don't know. I know the song though. It's a good song.
Yeah,
Um,
I should have heard that. Or
What's the
picked
name
that
of
one
the
up.
song? You
All
said
the
the
good
artist.
people. It's all the good people.
All the Good People.
I've seen
By
all the good people. I don't
Jonathan
know. Maybe
Davis?
it's by Yes. It's by Yes.
Oh, is that a member of Yes who wrote it or something?
I'm guessing so.
Mhm.
Also, another good song moment to mention before we move on, when his sister says, "Look under your bed," and like all of the albums. Like
Mhm.
I remember as a kid, like my mom had a bunch of albums, record, just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Now I think we had Purple Haze, which I have now.
Yeah.
Some other good ones, Thriller, some other
Oh,
rock and
speaking
roll,
of
like
Hendrix,
Zeppelin 4.
Before I forget, when they leave the bus to go
Yeah,
to the game,
Doris. Yeah.
Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
And I love they do a
Yes,
cool
yes.
shot while they're leaving and going.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, they do.
And sorry, I just need
Oh no, but like I think we all had that moment as a kid with maybe our parents, maybe somebody else. I mean, in this case, it was his sister, but somebody kind of opened a door for you in rock and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that scene because I forgot about it, and like when he was flipping through all the records, like my parents both had records when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure they had every single one that
I
was
know.
in that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I have that one, and then that one, and that one too.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. Same with my parents. Like that
Yeah.
was I had that same feeling. And
Another
it's such a
part I
nostalgic
like about
feeling.
that scene, and the song is okay. It's Tommy by The Who.
I know there's better Who songs for that,
But I
whatever.
love that it's the
I won't
transition of it. It's like they basically told his origin story, and then they fast forward to, they're like, this is how he became super rock and roll journalist boy.
I know. But again, it's so well paced. Like we said, like unlike Top Gun where it was clunky, still entertaining but clunky, this was like very smooth. All right, next category. Favorite line from the All right, John. Let's hear it.
I'm not gonna. So
there's so many good
one of the Band-Aids. It's the dark-haired one. She picks up the phone in the room, and it's Frances McDormand. She's looking for her son, and then she's just going on and on about how good of a boy he is.
Yeah.
So he should be really proud of him. And I know men, and you know men. Like just going on and getting really personal about how good of a guy the main character is. I forget his name. At the end, there's kind of a pause, and the only part of the line I actually wrote down is she goes, "This is a maid speaking, by the way."
I know.
That was Vicky Valancourt.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
There are so many like people in this movie, not necessarily top billed, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
But like there are so many like little cameos that you got to find. Like Nick Swartzen, is that his name?
Was that him?
Nathan, I think.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him. For a
when
hot
he
second.
he yells like, "That's Bowie."
Yeah, that's him.
Oh,
that's
him. Also,
I thought that was him, but
Jay-
then I was like, maybe
That's
this
him.
was like before his time. I don't know.
No, and Jay Buricles, the Zeppelin.
Was one of the guys
Free-
at Rolling Stone Dwight?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
there's
like,
so
that
many.
can't be him.
And Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
All right, Kevin, what was your favorite line?
John kind of touched on it earlier, but I look for the one guy to get off, and I'll make him get off. You can print that.
Sorry, Kev, if I slightly stole it.
It's made even better by when he starts it, he's like, "And don't print any of this." He's like, "You know what? No, I'm fucking badass. You print that."
Jason Lee certainly shoots his mouth off in very entertaining ways in this
Yes.
movie.
Yes, he does.
It's so good. It's so good. Eric, what about you?
The first one I wrote down was, "Don't take drugs."
I'll riff off of that then and say, and you can tell Rolling Stone magazine that my last words were, "I'm on drugs."
Let's work on your last words.
Yeah. I am a golden god.
And then the crowd's like, eh.
No, he's like, "I dig music."
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it
I dig music. And then yells, "I am a golden god."
I'm on drugs.
Oh, I'm on drugs.
I'm on
That's what it is.
drugs. Oh my god. I liked some of the best lines are in that acid scene. And I also like, and it's so random when the random dude is like, "Want to see me feed a mouse to my snake?"
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do. It's like, where did
That's
that
why,
come from?
Yeah, and he's all like space. He's like, "This is real. You're real." And I forget, he's in the room and he's about to touch, he's about to go on and on, but he skips something and he's like, "And this is real." But I forget what he skips and doesn't want to acknowledge is real.
I can't remember. I had another Jason Lee
real.
line.
Yeah,
Another
go
Jason
ahead.
Lee line was, "And let me say what everyone else is thinking. Your looks are becoming a problem."
And people in the room
my
are like,
God.
"What the
Yeah. I also said, if you think Mick Jagger, this was by Jimmy Fallon, when he's like talking about like protecting their lives or whatever. And he's like, if you think Mick Jagger will be out there trying to be a rock star at the age of 50, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah, he's gonna be all the way up until like 80.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, I had one
Go
early.
ahead, Kevin.
An early line is, I think she said feck.
Oh,
What's the
yeah.
difference?
Yeah.
The lowercase u?
And another good like punchline to that was the mom goes, "What's the difference?" And he says, I think it's you, or I think it's you."
Yeah, that's what Kevin
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
said.
That's funny. Double entendre.
That's what I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
no,
what Kevin-
the way he says it was, I think, or it's you. Like he
Yeah.
says it's you.
Yeah, because he's
Like,
exactly.
you're the problem, mom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also the letter U.
There's so many like little lines too that just come out of nowhere. Like, again, that party scene I always think of. Some of those are just out of nowhere.
I had
Yeah, go ahead.
when Russell was on the phone with his mom and he's done and he turns around, he's like, your mom kind of freaked me out.
A couple people say that.
Yeah.
I have to deal with it.
Cam from Modern Family was the first one.
Oh, that was him.
Eric Stone Street.
Yeah, he
Oh,
looks so
right.
familiar. He's
Yeah.
very young looking.
Yes.
It's funny when Russell says that, though, because he does that, and then he just goes on stage to
On-
play a live show in front of like 20,000
You
people.
know,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so good. All right. So I had one more that I wanted to end on. So I love the end, and Kevin kind of mentioned how it all comes together for Russell. But and this like the one line that I don't think's funny, but I really, really, really like, is when he at the end of the movie, he sits backwards in that chair, and William asks what he loves about music, and it's like the first sincere moment Russell has. He sits down and he goes, to begin with, everything. And I'm like, I know it's generic, but as us four sit here, we all love music.
Yeah.
There's so much to love about music.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's where that.
Yeah.
That's where
That like
that's why he
ends
wins
so
the movie.
perfect. I
It
know
all
it
comes in and
ends
just
so well.
realizes it. It all clicks.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think it's impossible to answer that, though. I do think the best thing about music is probably how it makes you feel. But everything works. All right, next category. Does this movie get made now? I want another rock and roll movie, damn it.
I'm with
Right?
you.
When was the last good one? And in all seriousness, School
don't-
of Rock.
When we were in high
talked
school?
about this before.
I know, but it like is concerning a little bit.
Like,
I honestly don't know.
I know.
I just said I would like it to, but this specific storyline type of deal, I think this is a standalone movie that I don't think anybody will touch. You might be able to do
Yeah.
a rock and roll movie, but not this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I
Like,
mean,
you can't put a sequel on it, a remake. I don't think it's going to happen.
no.
So-
No, I don't want any of that. But like,
It doesn't
maybe-
matter if you want it.
Yeah, that's
If you
fair.
even if you don't
Wasn't
want it,
going
they
to.
will do it.
I mean, they could put him as an older writer, maybe
What happened to Stillwater?
chaperoning. Yeah, right. What happened to Stillwater? Maybe he's Lester Bangs,
Yeah.
chaperoning a new writer. Maybe it's a girl writer, and
Or maybe they just remake the movie.
or they do that. But I honestly don't think this movie will get made again.
I agree.
Like, this is one of those standalone movies that seems like it'll stand the test of time.
Yeah. I'll cite Philip Seymour Hoffman, where he's basically talking about the age of the rock and roll heyday is kind of past, and this
Yeah.
is about the heyday in the 70s. So,
Yeah,
It-
and this
and
movie,
it
this
really
movie is
has.
25 years ago.
right. I think
I mean-
any kind of popular rock and roll anymore is basically an ode to that, or kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that music exists,
Yeah.
but it's because that there's so many different genres and outlets and ways to find music and people
Yeah.
making music that it's so spread out. And this is
Yeah.
the same with movies, shows, everything. And so it's not like this is only to music, but it's just that there's so much out there, even podcasts.
like
that like
yeah, so
right?
like back in Stillwater days, like you listened to the radio or you bought
Yeah, and it
albums from
told
the
you what
record
to
store.
listen. Yeah.
And you read about them in magazines.
Yeah.
Right. Philip
it's
Seymour
hard.
Hoffman said it again. He's like, it's the music that lives with you in your car. You'd have like a stack of
Yeah.
tapes.
Right.
And then I also like how he mentions as a benefit to being one of these rock writers, like, well, the record companies will give you free albums.
Yeah.
You won't
Right.
get paid much.
It's for love
So,
of the
like-
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't want to say that music is worse off now or worse by any means. I mean, people are getting better at things all the time.
Yeah.
No.
But I do think the way we consume it is different, and it's not necessarily as like clingy. I don't like nostalgia. I don't know the right word, but like we don't feel the same way as we did when we listened to some of that music back then from that
Yeah.
aspect. Like
It's
it wasn't
It's
I
not
don't
as
know how to-
poignant or like
yeah.
grandiose, I guess. It's not
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
important.
Also,
Monumental. Yeah, because there's
monumental.
other stuff
We-
out there where
Yeah.
right.
I think, back then there was only a few things that were the end all be all.
Yeah.
It's- Yeah, and so I think it's hard to share those. Like music is best shared with people, and like most things, and so like when we all like the same rock and roll band, we like it more because we share it with each other.
Mhm.
Nowadays, it's so hard to find.
Unless you're one of those elitist dickheads that are like, you can't like what I like. You're a
You guys
poser.
like shit. I only like good stuff.
Yeah.
This movie is terrible. You need to watch Red.
Well,
Yep, that's pretty much Kevin.
But no, like music now is just so readily available on all platforms, on everything. You can still get it on vinyl, on you can even get it on tape. You can get it on CD still.
it's fun to collect those for sure, and I
it's on
kind of like it.
MP3 on fucking YouTube, on whatever Spotify.
Well, I like getting those, to be honest, because like it commits. I mean, you have to.
Oh yeah.
You basically just commit to the whole album. So I kind of like that.
You do actually own it too, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's cool too.
That's whenever I buy music, like physical copies, it's vinyl now.
Nice.
And it's
Same.
also that's another, not to get too much into the weeds, but that's another way the consumption is different, and like the release efforts of bands are so different now. Like the online sphere prioritizes quantity over
agreed.
maybe not quality, but like
a full album.
yeah, like
But agreed.
it's
I know
it's
you're
more
getting at.
rare that a bit like a new upcoming band releases an album than it is if they just release a single. I see that all the time. Like all these new bands that I see on like TikTok, which are awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna
they
say,
only
not
have
bad.
like a single instead of an
Interesting.
album, or like
Yeah.
an EP with like 4 songs.
Yeah, makes sense. Why give too much away for free? Because you can distribute it a lot easier now.
Yeah,
right, and they want to get it out as soon as possible, as opposed to just sitting there for a 6 months.
There's a line about
like
someone
a
says
band.
you won't just get a record pressed, you'll get it played.
yeah.
Just
Right.
how to get your music out there.
I think that was
Has to
Jimmy
be
Fallon's character.
easier now.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
All right. Well, we could go on and on, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
we-
want
we-
to say
we
rock
went
and
old
roll
man
is
rant.
dead.
No, it's not.
It's not, because I
It's
still
not.
like the music today.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's different on how we feel about it. It is totally like not everybody listens to the same bands anymore, but it is what
People
it
are
is.
different. That's weird.
Yeah, right. Good and bad.
Yeah, novel idea there.
I thought we
Yeah,
were
I know.
clones.
I think it's good, and I think it's not as good. I don't know. It's in the middle. All right, next category: most rewatchable scene. I need to keep the party going, so I'm gonna get another beer.
Ooh,
John, you want to go first while I'm getting a beer?
Who's going first? Did he say me?
John, you are.
John, go ahead.
Okay, the airplane scene.
Yeah, the airplane scene's so good. Like, just as it gets like, it starts off and then Russell's just laughing He's like, oh, and then everyone starts telling their secrets. It's
Yeah, it's like, so the way I love it, they're like, all right, we're all gonna make good with each other.
yeah,
Like, that's done, and then they start going. They're like, all right, they start getting their like last shots in. Like,
Yeah, they
I
all
never
just
liked you.
they all shit on Russell.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they run
Until
the
the-
whole, like, there's so much, like, it's a roller coaster ride of like what all they want to share before they die, good and
yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
And then
which
of course the comedic relief at the end of the drummer.
Just
But,
coming
like,
out.
he's gay.
Guys, I'm gay, and you haven't heard from this guy. I don't think he has. Any
No,
other
he doesn't
lines.
say a word. Not in the
No.
entire movie.
Yeah.
And then they pull out of it, and then I also just sort of like how the pilots act during it all, where they're like, they're trying to stay calm at the beginning, and
Yeah.
they're just getting bucked around. And then at the end, once they finally pull out of it, they're like jubilant. They're like, "Guys, we're gonna make
We're
it!"
gonna
know.
live.
At the
So
beginning,
hilarious.
they're reassuring them it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get
Yeah, and then you can
out."
just see like clouds and like obviously
Yeah.
things are out of control. Like everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We have this under
Yeah.
control. And the front of the plane does not show that at all.
It's good.
Kevin, what did you have?
I put the I am the golden god scene.
Yeah,
That party scene of just
that's my
it
favorite.
just
so.
hilarious watching.
I'm
it.
surprised that's not John didn't say that, or were you just trying to be different? Because I think that's I mean, the entire acid scene, like the entire thing, where he's like, "You're
We're
real,
just,
and you're real."
The guy that picks him up has
Yeah.
the best choice of words. He's like, "We're just a bunch of real Topeka people," or
I
whatever.
love it. I'm like, this is, yeah. But like I think like some of us would be like, yeah, let's go party, and then some of us were like, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Like half of us are on the good idea, and half
It's
of us are on the bad idea.
Yeah. Stop giving him
I think
acid.
we know which is which.
Don't give
The
him
red
any more
cups have acid.
John, why'd you do that?
Yeah, I think John and I would be at the party, and Eric and Kevin would be like, it's probably not a good idea.
I'd be like, I don't want to go hang out with these fucking kids.
I'd be like, God damn it, it's 10 o'clock. I need to go to
I
bed.
would party with. Yeah, exactly.
Did you say you were feeding a mouse to your snake?
Eric, did you have a scene other than that?
Yeah, well, I mean, both of those, the plane scene and the
Yeah.
Golden God scene, are great. I tried to pick something different because I knew that we were going to say that.
Yeah.
The one shot that stood out to me was something that John mentioned earlier, when they're walking away from Doris, and there's this shot of it like in front of the sunset, like at a 45-degree angle. It's like
Yeah.
a perfect ad for like a bus.
And Jimi Hendrix
and it's
plays.
just it's just they're pulling back away from it, and it just gets smaller and smaller, and it's like
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful shot.
Put that
yeah,
thing
it's
on
'cause it's
Facebook
like
Marketplace.
their perspective leaving. What's the bus's name?
Doris.
Doris.
I was sad. I also think all the conversations with Lester are great, just because. I mean, he's
Yes.
great. Obviously, it's Philip
God, yeah.
Seymour Hoffman. He's so good at anything he touches. But I also think it's great if you're just a viewer, because it kind of grounds things and explains it and just frames it. And again, it paces it well. It gives you a way to think about what's going on and then go back into the movie seamlessly. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like you're jumping scene to scene,
No.
because you're going through it with him and talking it through, and then you're back to something else, and you don't even realize that you're in another scene or another city. And like he's in Cleveland already, and you're like, wait, he's been through how many cities? Like, it's
Yeah.
not just again, it's
That's
so
that's
well
such a
put through.
Yeah, it's such a good way to describe it. You said it grounds him, kind of.
Yeah,
Because like you
explains
can
each-
like you can easily get him swept up in like the whole like rock star thing. But it's
Yeah,
when he has those
exactly.
calls that you're like, "Oh yeah, he's just a kid trying to write
Yeah.
an article."
Right. And I love what does he say about being uncool? Like, There's
Oh,
actually a
that's a great
profound
line,
quote.
actually.
It is.
Yeah.
It is something about like the ones who enjoy it or uncool or
Basically
something.
why they're friends, because they let their guard down and aren't worried
Yeah.
about being cool.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know.
And it's best
So-
when you share it with other uncool people or
Mhm.
something
Yeah,
like that.
that's
yeah.
what it is.
When
Yeah,
we're
yes.
not cool. It's what we
Yeah,
say
well-
when we're not cool or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good profound quote.
And his sister, when she leaves, is like, "One day you'll be cool." Yeah, cool is the business of cool. That's another Philip Seymour Hoffman line.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's
there's-
right.
I feel like, yeah, there's kind of a recurring coolness of like the aspirations to be cool, but also knowing that coolness is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is. So Kevin,
Hey.
Dave's not here, so let's see who the off-screen drunk it really is. So Dave's not here, so maybe he's off-screen and he might be drinking,
Yeah.
No,
or it could
guys,
be Kevin.
You have it wrong. It's me.
It's Kevin. It's Kevin.
Somebody has to say it. Today it's Kevin. He says it.
I said the plane pilots
Oh yeah.
because after that,
answer.
like that probably fucking shook them. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
if I would be able to take that.
No.
I couldn't.
They were pushing it, trying to get those rock stars to their show.
Yeah.
Right. I said
It's
Penny
dangerous.
Lane or any of the Band-Aids because
Mhm.
I think once they stop touring, it might be tough to get back to a normal life.
I feel like they
Yeah.
were on screen drunk though. No, it's true.
That's fair.
See,
Yeah.
I put Dick, the manager, Dick,
Yeah.
and because
He's on screen too.
Well, he's dealing with those drunks,
Yeah.
the band, while they're drunk, and
That's
he's
a
got to
good
be the
answer.
sober one. So when he's bringing everyone back. They don't
Yeah.
show it, and he's having a whiskey or something afterwards.
That's a good answer.
That is.
Yeah. Nice. Eric?
I said the pilots.
Oh, that's right. John?
I just came up with it spur of the moment
Come on.
while we were talking about it, but it's the same answer as Kevin. But another exhibit to that argument is when Penny Lane shows up and she's like, "All right, everyone, extinguish all smoking materials," and she takes like a joint or something, whatever, out of his mouth. And then the next shot, he turns around and he's hitting a bong.
Yeah, I love it.
Stop smoking.
I love it. Oh, man, I love it.
But yes,
All right.
he is holding a lot together. And has been with these guys for a while, probably
Yeah.
dealing with a lot.
Since the
Oh, I'm
beginning.
sure. Yeah, that's what they said. He's one of Russell's friends. All right, this will be fun. Let's cast ourselves. Casting our friends. That video never gets old. We are so young. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
I only had one on this,
Okay.
and it's the obvious one because John is Russell. He is the golden god on acid, jumping off the roof into a
I got
pool
two answers
during
for
a
Am I
John.
incendiary on guitar?
You are incendiary.
Because I think that's incendiary.
Yeah. I mean, I have two for John, and one is clearly Russell. I mean, only one of us is doing that jump off of the
Yeah.
into the
roof
pool,
into
at
a
least
pool.
at that time. Yep.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you have?
I actually didn't have John as Russell, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That I would agree. I said John is the singer because he's just kind of in his own world, like spouting off stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also said John is the bass player because he plays bass.
Oh, there you go.
I said Matt is the manager because he's the numbers guy and he's the most organized of us.
Like Jimmy Fallon manager or
No,
the
uh,
Not
Dick.
the rich one.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
making you guys money.
No,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. he's the one trying to hold us all together.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I said Dave is the sister because he just wants people to dig records and be set free.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I said Kevin is Philip Seymour Hoffman because he's always like, do this because I know best. I know best, so I'm going to tell you to do this,
And only
and you do
smoking
that.
cigarettes while telling you to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are
And-
you listening to?
And
So Jimmy rolled fuck off.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's pretty much it. And then I said I could be William because I'm super awkward, like in public places.
Yeah,
And then
can see you being William.
I could also be Russell because I play guitar. But I don't do the Golden God part of Russell.
Russell is John and Eric
You've
combined.
got a
Yeah.
stunt double.
With our
That's
powers
fair.
combined, we are a
And I-
rock star from Stillwater.
Yeah.
I think
When things
think
go
with our-
bad and you quit the band, that's when I step in.
very fair.
Yeah, that's all I had.
That's all.
Nice.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
Yes. John, what about you?
I just came up with this like just now, but I thought Eric was the manager because I think he can keep it together and keep all of us fools on track.
Wait, Jimmy
Yeah, I do
Fallon
agree.
or Dick?
Dick. But I had actually
Dick
you
butt.
having Jimmy Fallon because I thought like you would come in and you're like, nope, this is how we're. He totally comes in and he's like, all right, we need to do A, B, and C. It's
That's
time,
hilarious.
and they go along with them. But yeah, very determined and all about business.
Completely
Yeah.
wrong.
Sort of describes Kevin. I had Matt as William just because of like the motivation, and just like always being on. How did you get so professional? Or like diving into things when you're 18 and don't know shit about shit.
Yeah, I think Eric and I would be a good combo for that, for
Mhm.
sure. Like, I'm the angsty one, and Eric's the awkward at the party. I feel like we're a good combo for that one.
I think so.
I put
I
Dave
was
as
thinking
Jason Lee, the singer. 'Cause of
'Cause
pot.
he's the talent.
Yeah, the talent.
Well, that's a good segue because I also had Jason Lee as Dave because of the talent.
That's
Oops, no
that's
joke.
such a good answer.
He is the talent. Also,
Yeah.
fun fact about Jason Lee and Dave, they skateboard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he
There you
has a
go.
connection.
Sidewalk surfers.
But yeah, definitely like, I mean, we joke, but at the same time, it's funny because Jason Lee's like, oh, I'm the lead singer, and you're the one with the guitar with Mystique.
We agreed that I'm the front
We-
man and you're the guitarist with Mystique.
Right. So we joke that Dave's the talents. That's great. I obviously have John as the guitar player with Mystique.
Yeah.
I have John as a few people because I also could see him being Jay Buracle, following a band around the same way.
Oh, I love that guy. He's like,
Yeah.
Jimmy Page, touch this pen.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
But my favorite casting of John is Marianne. Does anybody know why?
Oh, the one who's clairvoyant and has
No.
like,
No.
okay.
The quote
That's his
is,
mom,
"Are you-"
right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh,
so
shoot.
Here's okay. I was hoping you'd catch it. So when somebody's on the phone, or when he's on the phone with his mom, someone goes, "Is that Marianne with the pot?"
Oh.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Not Marianne with the pot. This is
So John is Marianne.
Yeah. I was thinking it was his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
He
sure.
absconded with the pot. Sorry.
I had Kevin as the manager, actually telling us what to do. I'm trying to keep us together. It's kind of funny we all have similar aspects there. And then I have Eric as Lester Bangs because if one of us, mainly Kevin or I, needs help, that's who we call and talk through it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
right? Like if I need a help or you need help, who do we call? Not Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Call
Oh.
Eric.
We call Eric, right? Just
Call me
like
first.
he does about writing that piece. I mean,
Yeah.
straight up,
Usually-
that is.
If I have an issue, I actually call, not text Eric.
I know, right? So, yes, Eric is definitely Lester in this scenario.
That means I'm
That-
Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm totally
That's
down
right.
with that.
And that puts me at Will. All right. 2 categories left. Let's talk about some of those top billed cast members. So we talked about how steep or how deep, sorry, not steep. See, wouldn't make sense. How deep the cast is.
Yes.
And well, let's talk only about people who played a larger role, just to
That's how I
shorten
had it.
it up. Yeah, I think there's there's still a handful. Let's talk about William first, and I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's last name. I hope it's not fuck it.
Yeah, it looks like
It's funny.
Patrick Fugit, maybe,
Patrick
Fuggett.
fuck it.
who plays Will. So I looked at his IMDb, and I personally, I think he does a really, really good job. Like, he sells it well. Like, he's not the best actor, but I think he plays the role spot on. I really liked him, and I always have him. Like, this kid's how old? Turns out he was about 17 when he played this role. So really good
Okay.
for that age, right?
And he's close to the
think.
age he was playing.
Yeah, right. So I think he did a great job. When you look at his IMDb, it's like, how did that happen? Like, he doesn't have anything else. So he is in other movies, but he's not. I mean, he's the main character in that. So in the other movies that I found that we even know about or have heard of are We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson.
What do they do in that movie?
I don't know.
I've never watched it.
It's okay. It's not bad.
Could be
And then,
What's the plot? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
what's the main
Good question.
You don't know? Have you watched it, Matt?
I
Like,
have. I saw it
Are
in theater.
we in it? Because it refers to we.
We all bought a zoo.
Oh my
together.
god, I didn't agree to that.
And also, he was one of the officers in Gone Girl. Like, this guy went from being a main character in an Academy type movie to nothing. It's kinda
Hey,
weird.
maybe you didn't want to.
I mean, he was only 17.
Well, he
Maybe
tried.
didn't want to act anymore.
Yeah, or maybe he changed. I don't know. Like, so I did hear something, or I read something when they're on the scene or they're on the bus singing "Tiny Dancer." He is the only one you don't hear his voice because he was going through puberty and like
Yeah.
it fluctuated every time they did the scene or whatever. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't match. So like you don't hear him.
Yeah.
Next person, let's talk about Jason Lee. What else do you guys have for Jason Lee?
You got
Or is
Vanilla-
this on there, I guess?
It's only, but you got Vanilla Sky,
Okay.
and then
Which-
the one I think it's not is just because I find it hilarious is Stealing Harvard.
I like it. I think that's a good movie.
I love
Yeah.
Stealing Harvard.
Yeah,
I think
it's
yeah.
John
think
and I
that's
definitely
funny
watched that a
for
million
me.
times.
yeah, it's hilarious and
$5 movie at Walmart.
Yeah,
So I said Mallrats.
Yeah, Mallrats
Chasing
was a good one.
Amy and this.
Oh, yeah, he was in Chasing.
Like just because he carries those movies in a comedic way.
Mm-hmm.
But you could argue Vanilla Sky because it was popular. Tom Cruise. Also, Dogma is another Kevin Smith movie. Like a bunch of Kevin Smith movies, of course.
I had not
And-
seen. Well, I don't remember seeing Dogma, but it's hard to access because of reasons.
Right.
He was in The Incredibles also. He was Incrediboy.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the
Oh,
bad
He
guy.
was.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Shit, that makes sense.
Or Syndrome, sorry.
Syndrome, yeah. And then, if
So I
you're-
think that's up there.
Yeah,
yeah, I
good.
agree.
I like that.
Also, I hate to say it, but he was also Dave in the Chipmunks.
no, and multiple Chipmunks.
Yes,
Yeah.
Shipwrecked, great movie. This is the highest rated movie he's in, though. So I think it might.
Matt, you didn't mention the Chipmunks Christmas song for your favorite song.
That's fair. That is one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time. And you're right. I didn't mention that. Good point.
It's
I
like in
kinda
the opening
glossed over it.
credits.
It's so early on.
Because
Yeah.
basically they're explaining that it's Christmas now, but their mom made them celebrate Christmas 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, like to Eric's point. All right. What about Frances McDormand? I said maybe it's really hard because she's like the one person that's hard to touch in this.
My gut is telling me no.
Yeah.
I didn't even make a list for her just because it's too small
It's
of a role.
stacked. Yeah, I mean she's great.
Yeah,
I really
it's
like her. In
small.
this.
I think she earned a nomination for supporting.
Yeah, she was.
Because she's one of the anchors, like along with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
Kind of one of the
agreed.
anchors of the
Agreed.
movie.
Yeah, so her and someone we'll talk about in a second, Kate Hudson, were both nominated, as I mentioned, for supporting actors. So she could go that way, or actress. But she has 4 Oscar wins and 2 Oscar Best Actress, like lead role.
Yeah, that's where it
she
just
had
didn't
the
make
Billboard
sense.
movie, right?
Yeah,
That was one.
Yeah,
3
3
billboards
billboards
outside
outside
of-
Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah.
Such a memorable title.
God, what a horrible title. But she won Best Actress for that.
Yeah.
And then, of
I remember
course, her all-time podium is Fargo.
that. Yeah.
Amazing movie. She's amazing in it.
Police.
But John is definitely our Frances McDormand Homer because of the Coen brothers connection.
I put her on my podium, and it's probably recency bias. I'm like, ooh, I like this.
I struggled. I said yes because I like the movie, but it has to be Fargo's number 1.
She
no question.
does seem to have a role that suits her, and this is like in his wheelhouse, like the
Like a
wholesome,
typecast.
caring woman.
Yeah, always. All right, 2 more. Let's talk about Billy Crudup real quick. I think he's great as Russell. I think he's a really good actor. I wish he was in even more than what he is,
Yeah.
but I said yes.
I have no idea what else he is in, so I said yes. I say yes.
So did
two.
you see the? Okay, yeah, go ahead, Kevin. What else did you have?
2 others. He was in Big Fish.
Yep.
And the other was The Good Shepherd, which is another
Yes.
one. Yeah, there's
Another great movie. Really good movie.
real serious movie, but
Same with Big Fish, but Big Fish is on my podium as well. He's the main character, and he's so good in it.
I feel like I've seen that one.
Yeah, probably. It's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So
It's been a
good.
while.
We should watch that. That would be a good movie to watch at some point.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember Big Fish.
It's fun but serious.
Because I thought I'm trying to remember him as the adult main character. I guess
Yeah,
I think
he is.
Ewan McGregor when I think
So
of that.
I mean, real fast on that. So Ewan McGregor is his dad. So basically, his dad is ailed, and his dad told all these big stories, like he's some big fish in a little pond, right? Like
yeah.
the Danny Cawley of Marietta High School, telling all these crazy stories. There's a name drop. He's not gonna listen. And so, like, he's a big fish in a little pond, and then he's telling his kids all these crazy stories. Like if I told Cohen I was varsity basketball or something, and then so his kid is or his son is grown up now, is like finding out some of this stuff, and so it's
finding out the true meaning of these fish tales.
Yeah, and Ewan McGregor is his dad as
right. That's coming back to
growing
me,
up.
like flashing back to it, and that's his.
It's
grandpa.
really good.
Okay.
It's very epic, but it's Tim Burton, so it's quirky. Anyways, that's on there. And then Eric, did you ever see? This is what we probably should do next: is The Watchmen.
I think I have watched it, but I don't remember it.
I thought you were going to say
watching
Waterworld.
I see it in Waterworld.
The Watchmen is one of those movies that's going to be the cliche. A lot of people love it, and I hate it.
Oh no, I love
That's one of those
The
movies
Watchmen.
for me.
But it's not a
personally.
comic book movie. To me.
But I still a lot of people love
The
that.
music's
The-
amazing.
I just hate
The
that
series
I didn't
on
see the series.
The series is
on
amazing.
HBO. Is
Yes.
it?
It's
Okay,
amazing.
so he plays Dr. Manhattan in the movie.
Which
And
one is that?
That's my favorite role of him.
Is that the big
He-
blue dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
the,
blue
like,
penis?
Stronger. Yeah.
No, they make
Exactly.
him wear like bikini underwear
Oh, okay. Sorry.
in the movie.
That's my favorite role of his, though. He's
so
absolutely. That's my
what they
favorite
do, make
character.
him wear like a motion capture suit because
Yeah, something like that. All right,
Dr.
last
Manhattan
person.
is really generic.
Before we get to our final category, last person is Miss Kate Hudson. I said yes.
Yeah, I say yes. I think
I
of
said yes
this
also.
movie whenever I think of her
Me too.
first.
And she was up for an Oscar. It's her only nomination, so I feel like that's a fair point. I think it's silver. One movie I have above it is for her is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes.
I love that movie. I like Almost Famous more, but her role in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is more important to the movie, obviously. It is the movie. Her
Yeah.
and Matthew McConaughey make the movie.
Mhm.
Almost Famous, she is good, but she doesn't make the movie, right?
Yeah.
Very critical of the movie though.
Kind of.
Yeah. And also I had You, Me, and Dupree as her third.
Not Bride Wars?
I
Anne
think
Hathaway?
Bride Wars is okay. I don't
Raising
know.
Helen?
I like both those girls.
I like
What?
her.
Fool's
Oh,
Gold?
Raising Helen. Fool's Gold's okay.
Yeah.
I
Her
don't know. I feel like
Fabletics
some of-
commercials. I like those
yeah, right.
for just no particular reason.
None here. All right, let's get to our last category. So we talked about this at the beginning. It's also in our title on YouTube. This week we ask, is Almost Famous one of the best rock and roll movies of all time, or does it make our podium? This is going to be interesting. John?
Yes. Again, this might be recency bias. I haven't had a lot of time to think, but I did put it at bronze. I
Okay.
didn't want to reward it too much.
Sure.
So my number 2 is This Is Spinal Tap.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Number 1, I feel like someone else has got to have this on their podium. Detroit Rock City.
Very nice.
Where
I haven't
am
seen that one in a long time.
No, very
How long
nice.
has it been, Eric?
Been a
It's-
while. Very nice. All right, Kevin. We need to have that sound bit there. Very nice.
Yeah.
Where am I?
I thought I was going to have an identical list to Eric's, but I'm second guessing that now. But my number 3 is actually Almost Famous. It makes my podium. It's bronze.
Okay.
Nice.
Number 2, we just did, and it's my favorite comedy of all time, Wayne's World.
Okay. So I know you're
And
number
then,
one.
yeah, my number 1 is That Thing You Do. And if that's
Nice.
not Eric's number 1, I don't know what
we
his
know
number
it's
1
not
is. But it's the best rock and roll movie. Like
Nice.
Ever.
It's very, very well done, front to back. So
This is
Like
going to be
the
in
cradle of rock and roll.
yeah, it's like That Thing You Do is peeling everything back from Stillwater and being in Stillwater's position instead of being the writer's position. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Good point.
Absolutely. All right, Eric.
No, this did not make my podium.
Bum, bum, bum.
No.
I have a difficult time at number 3, but I went with Detroit Rock City, just because I remember thinking it was hilarious and loving it.
We watched it a lot together.
Yeah, you had Detroit Rock City as 3.
That's 3, yeah.
Eric just wants to go to a Kiss concert.
Yeah, just want to go to
Oh,
a Kiss
yeah.
concert.
Me too.
I don't know if I actually would want to do anyway.
Not anymore.
Yeah, number 2 is with John, Spinal Tap.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
And it cannot be dethroned by number 1, which is That Thing You Do, because it is the best movie in the world. Exactly. Kevin is correct.
Wow,
You don't hear me
that was-
saying that
No.
very often.
Yeah.
Eric, you are correct.
Ooh, thank you.
Wow, what a weird
Your
day.
opinion
You
is
guys
right.
agree? All right, so this will be interesting. Okay, so we all share a very similar, which is interesting considering there are a lot of good rock and roll movies. I'm going to mention some that we haven't mentioned just because I think it is good to put into perspective some of the ones that should be mentioned because, again,
Some of the
I
near
absolutely
portal
love this
movies.
genre.
First of all, Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg.
Rockstar is in it. Yeah, no, that is not on my list or even an honorable mention, believe it or not.
Well, fine.
Well, you're
I have
right.
I have
okay.
Tommy by The Who is an
Yeah.
honorable mention. Sid and Nancy, The Wedding Singer, 24-hour Party People.
So I don't know if that was a. That probably that is a rock
I
and
think
roll
it's rock
movie.
and roll.
Well, fuck, that's gonna be number 3 on mine.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We have 24-hour Party People, which has a great soundtrack, has Sex Pistols, Joy Division, blah, blah, blah. I won't get too much more into that.
Blah,
School of
blah.
Rock,
Yes, School of Rock.
Rock and Roll High School, the
Yep.
Ramones movie.
Yes, I had that one on my list
I know.
to choose from.
Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing documentaries, and I won't go into the list too much, but I will mention Gimme Shelter and The Last
Yeah.
Waltz.
I was going to put that on my podium because Gimme Shelter, is that the one that ends in Altamont?
Yeah, with Rolling Stone.
Yeah, that's.
The
I want to
Rolling
put that on my podium because it's just, the end. It's like
It ends there. Yeah.
it's so stupid and excruciating at the end.
I want to add one more honorable mention because I'm assuming it's not on your list, Matt, but it just came to mind.
Probably not.
Airheads.
Yeah, it's not on my list,
Oh,
but that is a
man.
good one.
Airheads.
I agree. That is a good one.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know why I completely.
That's a rock and roll
forgot.
movie right
That is
there.
definitely a rock and roll movie.
That needed to be mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I ain't
and then
farting
I
on no
also-
snare drum.
And then I also had High Fidelity as an honorable mention.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
It has a lot of. It's not up there with the best, but it is pretty high up there. I mean, he does have a lot of rock and roll moments, and
Mhm.
I like his narrative on some of that from a music standpoint.
Yeah.
So I tried to stay with the sheer rock and roll vibe. So I went with bands in that whole scenario. So I did not say Dazed and Confused, though I do feel like it
I'm
should also
surprised.
be mentioned. I
Yeah.
know. But it doesn't have enough actual rock and roll from like the story standpoint. It's just the
Mhm.
music. So I
It's the
stayed away
spirit.
from pure soundtracks.
Mhm.
All right. So my number 3 with all that is the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
literally about getting the band back together,
Mhm.
which is what I say all the time. I mean, it is them
The
finding.
boys
each
are
person.
back in town.
That's right. I love
Mm-hmm.
how it plays out and how like they go to each city or each place and get Matt Guitar Murphy and they get the next guy and they all like form and start playing music at each place and it just gets bigger and bigger and the band does get back together.
We're on a mission from God.
Yeah, right. God loves rock and roll too. Come on.
Right.
My number 2 is Almost Famous. Now,
Nice.
it's probably my favorite movie of all of these from a movie standpoint, but there is one more movie that is more rock and roll, and I agree with John. My number 1 is
Ooh, okay.
also Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but from a rock and roll vibe standpoint, holy shit.
Trying to get
I
to
want to
that
watch
concert.
that. I almost
Yeah.
picked that because
I think I'm going to put that on tonight. 'Cause
Um,
I haven't seen
I
that in a
mean,
long time.
would we? Is it cool if we do that next week?
Oh,
We
I'm
want
down
us
with
to
that.
go-
That's fine.
Because I was gonna pick it anyway, and I was like, I'll pick Almost Famous because it's a better movie. But man, we could talk some real talk
I
on
haven't watched
Detroit.
that.
Rock
Yeah.
City.
So long ago.
I mean, the dynamic with his mom is so like, yeah, it's another
Awesome.
reason why I like that is because like your
Let's
kids are
do
gonna
Detroit
rebel.
Rock City.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see Detroit. Let's go watch Detroit Rock City.
Okay.
We'll call it Kelly's pick.
So I've not seen this, but it just popped into my head. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
surprised
yeah.
Eric didn't mention that one.
Yeah. Another one that I had on my list of possibles is The Rocker with
Yeah, with
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good one. I like that one.
And some people like the Pick of Destiny. I haven't seen it, to be totally honest.
Really?
I
So I
have.
can't say.
It's the
No,
pick of
it's
destiny, child.
It's not podium
I don't know.
worthy, but it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
It's
know.
entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's a hoot. It's a gas.
I guess the last rock and roll movie
Oh,
might
yeah.
be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Then
Yeah.
That is a good
I've
rock
never
and roll
seen
movie.
it.
There's a fucking bass battle. Yeah.
you know what?
I don't know why I haven't seen
Kevin's
it.
favorite movie should be on there too. Mad Max. Kind of rock and roll in a way.
I don't if a guy on a truck with a double neck guitar that's shooting fucking flames while he's playing is not rock and roll, I don't know what is.
Wasn't there also one with a drum set on the back or something?
Yeah, oh yeah, their whole
Yeah, I mean there's all sorts of rock and roll stuff on those cars,
Yeah.
but the
guys have
most
poor
impressive
taste
of
in
which is
Oh my god. Well,
the guy
I
with
hope
the
you
flame
like.
guitar.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Kevin, I hope you like Detroit Rock City.
No,
Sorry
I
not
do.
to.
I do.
awesome.
Did anyone
That's where we're
catch
going.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's shirt in this movie that simply said "Detroit sucks"?
Oh yeah, I did, and I loved it. I have no offense to anybody from Detroit, but it does kind of suck.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of
It's
a
not as
Cleveland
bad as
thing.
Philly, though. I am excited. Oh yeah, so a couple plugs before we get off of here. And we'll have a fun episode with our guy High Scorsese from Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Acknowledge him.
Yeah, we talked about a movie. We let him pick, and he came up with the movie Arcade, which is a ridiculous B movie with Seth Green in it and Peter Billingsley from
Christmas Story.
Christmas
Ralphie.
Story. Ralphie.
Wow.
And the
It's
movie is from 1993.
Horrible. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
from '93. It's horrible. So if you're looking
but it's
for
amazing.
a movie or a podcast to rip on a movie, be sure
That
to
one's gonna
check
be
it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Arcade with High Scorsese.
That's right. So tune in for that. And next week, it looks like we'll be doing a live episode on Detroit Rock City.
Yes.
Hope
Decide.
you've enjoyed. For those listening on your audio, thanks for tuning in as well.
Yes, thank you.
For YouTube, please like and subscribe on here. Again, we can also have you subscribe on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. We really appreciate you listening and hanging out with us.
Yeah, and
And-
Polar
But
Nights
for
over on
movies.
Twitch. Polar Nights
Oh
over
yes,
on Twitch.
thanks
Thank
Polar
you.
Nights, and thanks Clarissa for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you.
And happy birthday to me. Peace.
Happy birthday to
Outro.
man.
Credits roll now, the show is done. We watched the movie and had our fun. Thanks for hanging with us for so long. We'll see you next week on the movie podium.